to do. It is what it is. I suppose like if I had something to do that wasn't this, I'd be doing it. But I don't have anything to do that isn't this. And like I don't necessarily know that there's anything else I could do that could possibly gain me some kind of like, because this is what it is. Like me and Mark had this conversation in a game series that has not gone up yet, in a video series that hasn't gone up yet, where it's the idea of like that's where the stamp is, isn't it? Is that not what the stamp is? Oh, that's it. You can get one or the other, but you're definitely coming through here twice.
You ever watch Baby Daddy?
Nah, but I listened to it the other day.
It was a fun show.
Oh, that's like, never mind. That's called Baby Mama. My baby. That's my baby mama.
Melissa Peterman. Barbara Jean.
Barbara Jean. Oh, it's the next episode. You gonna tell us about the first time you had Worcestershire? Huh?
The first time I had oysters?
The first time you know the thing you said. Oh, there are some stages on here. I do not want to have to do it again, boy.
Well, the first time I
Were you lying?
About what?
About you said you had a story to tell.
I'm really shocked about
What's that? I don't know if it'll replace the one I have. You said that you had a story to tell. Were you lying?
I mean, we all have stories to tell. We all lead complicated lives.
So you didn't have a story to tell?
I always have a story to tell.
You gonna tell it?
Yeah, apparently, in the UK, there's been this murder trial that's been going on for 21 days. And, it's the Alec Murdaugh trial. And I had not heard anything about it. My friend was telling me about it. And she says that he's a lawyer who embezzled money from his firm and his clients. And he had a drug addiction and killed his wife and son. And I said, oh snap, what was his defense? Insanity? She said, I was asleep. His defense is that he was asleep. And he's probably gonna get away with it.
He was asleep in what capacity?
In the capacity that he did not kill his wife and son. Because he was asleep when it happened.
I don't understand.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. It's, it's not Alec, it's Alex. Why would your phone autocorrect to Alec? Alex Murdaugh destroyed by fatal shootings of wife and son. Surviving son testifies at double murder trial. Ooh, that's a ginger.
Oh.
Let's see. So his son says he was heartbroken. I walked in the door and saw him, gave him a hug. Buster Murdaugh said of seeing his father in the hours after he learned his mother Margaret and younger brother Paul had been fatally shot. Alex Murdaugh was just broken down. Buster said, adding his father was crying and couldn't really speak. Buster was the third witness called by the defense, which began its case Friday after prosecutors called more than 60 witnesses to bolster their argument. Alex Murdaugh, 54, killed his wife and son at the family's estate island. I have no idea. Okay. On June 7th, 2021, in an attempt to distract from his alleged financial crimes, which were being rapidly uncovered, and for which he now faces 99 charges separately from the murders. So, that's an interesting angle from the prosecutors. They say that he killed his wife and son to distract from the fact that he was being charged with financial crimes.
But that's probably not going to be the case, though. They're most likely still going to be like, okay, well, we've charged you with these crimes, and also.
Yeah, like, he might get off of the murder charges, but he still got 99 financial charges.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like the idea that like, well, I'll just like do this to make them not think about this. And it's like, we're not gonna forget the other thing. What the fuck?
Well, he probably thought that if he did do it, he thought that he committed the perfect crime and would not be charged for it. Everybody was going to just like look at him as the poor dad who lost his son and the husband who lost his wife, not the drug addict who stole money from his clients.
Only a drug addict would think something like that.
Truth. Alex Murdaugh has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of murder and 2 weapons charges in the killings, and the defense has painted Murdaugh as a loving father and husband being wrongfully accused after what it says has been a poorly handled investigation. In the last 3 weeks of the trial, prosecutors have tried to overcome the lack of any direct evidence, such as eyewitnesses, tying Murdaugh to the killings. Instead, their case has relied heavily on circumstantial evidence that they say shows Murdaugh lied to investigators and was at the scene just minutes before the killings. His defense attorneys have criticized the prosecutor's case as speculative and waved off their focus on his alleged financial schemes as irrelevant. The defense used Buster Murdaugh on Tuesday to undermine the testimony of a state witness who told the court late last month that he believed Alex Murdaugh inadvertently confessed to carrying out the murders while speaking to investigators. The witness, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division Special Agent Jeff Croft, said he believed Murdaugh said, "I did him so bad," in reference to Paul's body during an emotional interview with the investigators on June 10, 2021. Croft did not follow up about the statement. However, And the defense maintained Murdaugh instead said they did him so bad, a claim Buster backed up Tuesday. The tape of the June 10th, 2021 interview was not the first time he'd heard his father say, they did him so bad, Buster said. The first time I heard him say that was the night that I went down to Moselle, he said, referring to the property the night of June the 7th. Did he say that more than one time? The attorney asked. He did. The defense also sought to counter the testimony of a caretaker from Murdaugh's mother, who testified for the state that Murdaugh visited his mother home in Alameda the night of the killings between 8:30 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. The caretaker, Shelley, cared for Murdaugh's mother from 8 to 8 and testified late-night visits were unusual. But the family followed no set schedule when visiting his grandparents, which his father did often. It could have been any time. We went over at lunch a lot of times. Went over in the evenings a lot. Just no real set schedule, Buster said. Just kind of mosey on over there. So... wait, where is this taking place? This is happening in South Carolina. I was confused by that. How have I not heard about this case?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought for whatever reason this took place in America. Not America, I'm sorry. The UK. I thought this took place in the UK.
Too. Because that's it. My friend from the freaking UK was the one who messaged me about it.
Which is the
only.
only.
And I was like, is it happening there? Because why haven't it? If it's a murder trial that's been happening for 20 freaking days, I have not heard a single thing about it.
You know what's scary? Now that we're talking about it, it's gonna show up in our Google feed.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get all the news now. Next time I'm gonna be an expert on this case. Okay, so the housekeeper says that late night visits were unusual, but the family says they weren't because we just go over there whenever we felt like it. Because the thing that was throwing me off originally, because it was saying like the lack of evidence and it was all circumstantial and stuff, because I thought it was in the UK. I was like, how is this possible? Like, they should have caught him immediately because CCTV is literally everywhere in that country. Like, you can't go anywhere without being on camera. So if they didn't catch a murderer leaving the house on CCTV, then that really only leaves one option. The murderer was in the house. But now that we know it's actually happened in South Carolina, of course he could get away with it. What if it was the brother?
What if?
Let's see. So, okay, Paul was the son he killed? Okay. Before his death, Paul Murdaugh was being bullied on social media and in public for his alleged involvement in a February 2019 boat crash that killed 19-year-old Mallory Beach. Buster testified, describing social media messages his brother received and confrontations in bars. Paul had pleaded not guilty to charges in connection to the accident, and court records show the charges were dropped after his death. People were sending Paul messages about the crash, Buster said, and a lot of times he'd be walking down the sidewalk and, a car comes by and they would yell some stuff at him. Mm-hmm. I knew he would go out at a bar and there's somebody that wants to talk about it, make a scuff about it, Buster said. The accident and the ensuing backlash from the community kind of consumed his 52-year-old mother. She was big on reading all of it, and when she read the negative stuff, it made her feel upset and whatnot, and it ultimately kind of caused her to distance herself from Hampton. where the family had long lived, he said. Maggie felt people in town were staring at her and talking about her, Buster said, and she stopped going to grocery stores and the pharmacy there. Alex was
So it
sued
does
by
more damage
Beach's
when you're a
family.
cat? That's interesting. Continue, sorry.
Alex was sued by Beach's family after the boat crash, and prosecutors pointed to the lawsuit as a potential catalyst for the killings. Witnesses who testified for the state described the hearing of that case set to take place 3 days after the fatal shootings, which could have revealed the state of Murdaugh's finances and his alleged misdeeds. The hearing was canceled after the killings. Oh, God. So they're saying who killed his wife and son because they got him sued. Oh, man. But Alex Murdaugh never appeared overly anxious about the civil case, Buster said Tuesday. The criminal case against Paul was the priority, he said, because none of us thought that he was driving the boat at the time of the accident. The defense appears to suggest last week that the killings could be related to a financial dispute, which, with a drug gang, is saying Murdaugh was buying $50,000 worth of drugs each week from a man who was in significant debt to a gang. Murdaugh's lawyers have previously acknowledged he struggles with an opioid addiction, and prosecutors presented evidence Friday showing Paul confronted his father about a stash of pills a month before he and his mother were killed. Buster testified he knew a little bit about his father's drug abuse, saying he was aware that his brother and mother had found pills. He described several efforts by his father to address his addiction, including going to a detox facility around Christmas in 2018. Buster thought that...
Hold up. We'll finish this in the next episode, because I'm just going to assume, and when I say assume, I use the term loosely, these people are white, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
If they were black, the case would be over.
Yeah. So until next time, oh God.
Oh God.
I'll show you. Hold on, I'll show you why I said oh God before the video ends, so that you can say oh God too. Check your phone.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Get out.